Today, we are thrilled to sit down with Mr. David, CEO and founder of Viettonkin Consulting, a firm that's been at the forefront of cross-border business in Southeast Asia for the past 15 years. Good morning, Mr. David. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. To kick things off, could you share more about what the company does?
With a vision to 2030, Viettonkin strives to become the leading FDI consulting firm in the Southeast Asia. What makes us stand out from the crowd is our capabilities. In all walks of FDI spheres, with our self-developed model and framework, we break out the FDI intelligence into 6 pillars, namely legal and policy intelligence, accounting and tax intelligence, HR and labor intelligence, market intelligence, cultural and linguistic intelligence, and digital and analytics intelligence. In prevalent practice, we offer a one-stop solution to support the FDI investors and walk them through the 5 phases of the FDI projects. And our aspiration is to build a FDI-focused knowledge management society and a learning organization where all the knowledge and skills will be transferred to the next generation.
What was the defining moment that sparked the idea of starting Viettonkin Consulting back in 2009?
Viettonkin was founded in 2009, just 2 years after Vietnam's accession to WTO, the largest global multilateral trade organization, as you know. I believe it is high time for Vietnam to integrate to the outside world. So, as an aspiring young entrepreneur at that time, I wanted to make a good contribution to bridge Vietnam with the outside world by way of attracting FDI into Vietnam. As an FDI consulting firm, Vietnam is well positioned to provide market readiness assistance and market entry solutions to support those who want to venture into Vietnam.
Wow! Now more than a decade later, and Viettonkin has grown into a multidisciplinary firm with a presence across Southeast Asia. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced in scaling the business regionally?
I recall the time when we just started our FDI consulting business, Viettonkin Consulting, in 2009, when FDI was brand new in Vietnam, and we were on the learning curve regarding our host country, Vietnam, and also different home countries at that time, Japan, South Korea, and China. After trials and errors, we found the right pathway to build an FDI consulting business model, then build an ecosystem around it and a partnership network for the purpose of capability development and business expansion. I still vividly remember the period in late 2010 when a personal crisis deeply impacted my work at Viettonkin and brought the business to the brink of bankruptcy. I had to switch gears and revisit another passion of mine, which is NGO consulting. Fortunately, the valuable experience I gained working for American NGO upon my graduation years prior helped to ease this transition. Till this day, I'm an independent consultant for NGOs and some government agencies, and I'm grateful to be able to give back to causes that I feel strong about. My last example is the COVID-19 period, which is a good example, showing Viettonkin's resilience. I was really upset when the pandemic started. Then I worked internally with my management team regarding the business continuity plan, BCP, and different strategies which helped Viettonkin maintain our business and even build a new business model for supporting FDI investors through the pandemic crisis and then the new normal. As a result, we not only retained our clients, but also achieved positive growth and won more deals during the years 2020, 2021, and 2022.
Let's talk about foreign direct investment in Vietnam. From your perspective, what makes Vietnam such an attractive destination for foreign investors today?
Vietnam has emerged as a premier destination for foreign direct investment, driven by a combination of strategic location, economic reforms, and a dynamic workforce. First off, strategic location and trade connectivity. With its strategic location, Vietnam is a gateway to Southeast Asia, and Vietnam is a party member to many free trade agreements which allow Vietnam to access to more than 100 of countries and territories. Second, robust economic growth. Vietnam's GDP growth was 5.07% in 2023 and 7.09% in 2024. For 2025, it is projected to grow by 6.8%. Third, competitive labor force. Vietnam boasts a young and increasingly skilled workforce, and with a total population of 100 million people, the majority of our population is the people under working age. Next is diversified investment opportunities. So foreign investors are capitalizing on opportunities across multiple sectors in Vietnam. And last but not least, the tax investment incentives. So Vietnam offers competitive tax investment incentives. So we have quite a few, I believe more than 500 industrial zones and parks in Vietnam nationwide. And investors who invest in those industrial zones or parks and also high-tech parks are entitled to a lot of tax investment incentives.
Are there any common misconceptions foreign investors have about doing business in Vietnam?
Yes, there are several common misconceptions among foreign investors about doing business in Vietnam. For example, FDI investors believe that they just replicate their culture and system they have from their home country in Vietnam for their in-country team. In many cases, cultural and linguistic differences will result in the business failures in Vietnam. That is why our cultural and linguistic intelligence can help them accommodate the local culture and localization requirements. And FDI investors believe that their foreign accounting team can do accounting and bookkeeping in Vietnam remotely without the support of a local accounting team. And they also think that they can handle tax compliance on their own. On the contrary, many foreign companies are facing, the accounting and tax issues, and because they fail to fulfill the local accounting and tax requirements as per the Vietnamese accounting standards, VAS, and also our Vietnamese tax legislation. As a result, they are subject to to the penalties and fines, and even some other cases they have to pay the interest because of the late payment of the tax liabilities due to their non-compliance issues. The last example here I want to mention here is FDI investors might assume that the law and regulations in Vietnam are similar to those in their home country. And in reality, the businesses in Vietnam are governed by our Vietnamese legal framework, and then many parts of which are very different from other jurisdictions.
Thank you for those insights, Mr. David. It's great to know that even the government is taking bold and concrete steps to increase investor confidence and set Vietnam apart from its regional peers. As we approach the end of our conversation, we'd like to leave our audience with some practical and actionable insights. So looking ahead, what sectors or trends do you believe will shape the future of FDI in Vietnam over the next 5 to 10 years?
Amid rising geopolitical tensions, the FDI landscape is set to shift significantly over the next 5 to 10 years, shaped by the evolving government policies and market forces. I believe global MNCs and SMEs will stay resilient, adapting to new challenges and opportunities. In Vietnam, the government is undergoing a transformation toward more effective governance, driving positive changes in FDI attraction and trade policies. With regards to the high potential sectors in Vietnam, I must emphasize the digital economy and e-commerce is number one. Then renewable energy and green infrastructure. And then advanced manufacturing and semiconductor, industrial real estate and logistics, real estate and urban development. These are the most prevalent sectors in Vietnam for the foreign investors.
Finally, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs or young professionals who want to make an impact in international business?
Dare to dream, dare to fail, and dare to start again. These mottos have been reinforced in my mind and put me through all the tough and turbulent times for the past 16 years. With a good heart, open mindset, a strong conviction, and devotion to what you do, you will succeed no matter what happens. Please reach out to me directly if you need any advice with regards to the market entry to Vietnam and the Southeast Asia.
Wow, thank you, Mr. David. I've learned so much just from this short conversation. And I'm sure the audience will also walk away with an enriched understanding of the realities of FDI in Vietnam, as well as the investment opportunities that must be capitalized on. We sincerely appreciate your time, and we hope your story may inspire those watching to be trailblazers and revolutionary thinkers in their own right.